One harmless-looking can be the best meal in your pantry, or the thing quietly adding sugar, salt, and health risks to your body. That is why today we are going straight into 11 canned foods you should buy, and 9 types you should consider avoiding. The notable number is that many cans that seem ordinary can contain more than 900 milligrams of sodium, 20 to 30 grams of sugar, or almost no real nutritional value. But on the other side, a good can provide 20 to 25 grams of protein, omega-3, fiber, vitamin D, calcium, and nutrients that are truly valuable for people over 50. The problem is not whether canned food is good or bad. The problem is, which can you choose? And a few names on this list may make you look back at your pantry. Especially, the number 1 spot on the list to avoid is not what most people think of, and it is probably sitting in millions of kitchens right now. 11. Canned green chilies. There is a very practical reason many people give up on stored food, not because they run out of food, but because they no longer want to eat. After a few days of nothing but beans, rice, canned meat, soup, and soft vegetables, everything starts to have the same smell, the same taste, the same heavy feeling. This is something very few people think about when buying canned food: flavor fatigue. And for older adults, that matters even more. When food is bland, dry, or repeated too often, appetite can drop faster than you think. That is when a small can of green chilies can save the whole meal. It does not need to be the main character. It only needs to show up at the right time. A spoonful of green chilies added to eggs, rice, soup, beans, canned chicken, or potatoes can turn an ordinary dish into something much easier to eat. The mild heat, smoky smell, gentle acidity, and green vegetable flavor help wake up the taste buds without needing to pour in more sugar, sweet sauce, or too much salt. The number to remember is this: 1 serving of green chilies can provide a significant amount of vitamin C, and in some types, that number can exceed the daily requirement. For something often seen as a side seasoning, that is value very easy to overlook. The most valuable point of canned green chilies is that they help reduce the need to use less healthy things to make food tasteful. When rice, beans, eggs, potatoes, or canned chicken are too bland, many people often add more salt, sweet sauce, cheese, or salty dipping sauce. Green chilies offer another direction, adding flavor without turning the meal into a sodium bomb. For people over 50 who are watching their blood pressure, this is a very practical detail. A little green chili can make food taste brighter, warmer, and easier to eat, while still keeping the meal simple and light. When buying, look at the label. Choose a low-sodium type if available, and avoid cans that are swollen, leaking, or badly dented. After opening, the unused portion should be put in an airtight container and refrigerated. Canned green chilies are not a superfood. They are a smart way to make good food easier to eat, without paying the price in too much salt, sugar, or industrial sauce. And if green chilies save the taste buds, the next item saves the whole structure of the meal. 10. Canned mixed vegetables. Canned mixed vegetables are very easy to underestimate. They are not attractive, not premium, and do not create the feeling of eating healthy like fresh vegetables at the market. Just carrots, peas, corn, and green beans sitting together in one small can. But in real life, the question is not whether you have ever bought fresh vegetables. The question is, how much of those fresh vegetables actually gets eaten before they wilt, soften, dry out, or get forgotten in the refrigerator drawer? That is the hidden cost. For people living alone, older adults, or people who do not cook every day, buying several separate types of fresh vegetables sounds very right. But in reality, it easily turns into a familiar cycle. Buying with good intentions, using a little, forgetting the rest, then throwing it away. A can of mixed vegetables cuts straight through that problem. Open the lid, and you immediately have several kinds of vegetables at once. No peeling, no long washing. No worrying about what has to be used up today before it goes bad. 1 cup of mixed vegetables can provide about 4 grams of fiber and nearly 20% of the daily vitamin A requirement, depending on the type. For people over 50, fiber supports digestion and fullness. Vitamin A supports vision and immunity. Its strength is not turning a meal into perfection. It simply does something more practical, pulling a meal of only rice, noodles, canned meat, or sauce closer to a real meal. Add it to rice, soup, stew, or pasta, and you have more color, texture, and nutrition in just a few minutes. Not glamorous, but very few cheap foods can fix a meal that quickly. And if mixed vegetables fix the vegetable part of the meal, the next item fixes a very big misunderstanding about starch. 9. Canned corn. Canned corn is often judged too quickly. Many people see corn and immediately think, that is just starch, something that fills the plate, nothing special, and even seen as less healthy than green vegetables. But if you only look at corn as starch, you are missing its most valuable part. Corn has B vitamins, magnesium, potassium, and especially lutein and zeaxanthin, 2 compounds naturally concentrated in the retina of the eye. For people over 50, this is not a small detail. When vision starts to weaken, many people think of eyeglasses first, but forget that the eyes also need to be nourished through daily meals. The number to remember is that 1 cup of corn can provide about 3 to 4 grams of fiber. Not enough to turn it into a superfood, but enough to help a meal feel fuller, keep hunger away longer, and reduce dependence on meat or white starches. This is the practical value of canned corn. It makes a monotonous meal feel more complete. Add it to soup, stew, salad, rice, or beans, and you get more color, natural sweetness, and a more comfortable feeling of fullness. Corn is not underrated because it is useless. It is underrated because it is too familiar. 8. Canned tomatoes. Fresh tomatoes always get praised. They look better. They sound healthier. They feel more natural. Canned tomatoes, on the other hand, are often seen as a backup option, something you only pull out when there are no fresh tomatoes left in the kitchen. But this is one of the rare cases where canned food has a very clear advantage of its own. Tomatoes contain lycopene, an antioxidant associated with heart health and the ability to protect cells from oxidative damage. Interestingly, the heat used during the canning process can help make lycopene easier to absorb than it is from raw tomatoes. Cooked tomato products can contain much higher levels of bioavailable lycopene than fresh tomatoes. Simply put, fresh does not always mean better absorbed by the body. The practical value of canned tomatoes lies in the fact that they turn separate ingredients into a real meal. 1 can of tomatoes can transform dry pasta, beans, canned meat, vegetables, or bland soup into something with depth, acidity, color, and the feeling of being properly cooked. It is not just a convenient item sitting in the pantry. It is the foundation of many healthy, inexpensive meals with real health value. 7. Canned black beans and canned beans. There is a very simple truth. Many people know beans are good for their health, yet they still do not eat enough of them. Not because they do not believe in their nutritional value. It is because dried beans require too many steps. You have to remember to soak them. You have to cook them for a long time. You have to watch the water. And on a tiring evening, when all you want is a quick meal, all of that turns a healthy food into too much trouble. Canned beans solve exactly that bottleneck. They are not the lazy version of dried beans. They are the version that makes people actually eat beans more regularly. 1 cup of black beans or beans can provide about 12 to 15 grams of protein and nearly 12 to 15 grams of fiber. This is a very powerful combination for people over 50. Protein helps maintain muscle mass. Fiber helps keep digestion more regular. And both help meals keep you full longer. More importantly, beans have a much lower glycemic index than many common starches. That means energy enters the body more slowly, more steadily, and is less likely to leave you feeling hungry again too quickly. For people concerned about blood sugar, heart health, or weight, this is a very practical advantage. Rinsing them under water can significantly reduce the sodium content, so do not skip that small step. Add them to rice, soup, salad, stew, or eat them with vegetables. One inexpensive can turn a makeshift meal into a meal with a solid foundation. This is not a side dish. This is one of the most worthwhile cans in the pantry. 6. Canned chickpeas. Protein is often the thing that makes a meal get stuck. You have rice, noodles, vegetables, but no main dish. The meat is still frozen, the fish is not prepared, and the eggs still have to be cooked. And in the end, the fastest meal becomes something heavy in starch, but lacking the power to keep you full. Canned chickpeas solve exactly that moment. Open the can, rinse quickly, and you immediately have a plant-based protein source ready to eat. The number to remember is that 1 cup of chickpeas has about 14 grams of protein and more than 12 grams of fiber. It also has folate, iron, and manganese, nutrients related to blood formation, energy, and the body's normal metabolism. The strength of chickpeas is that they do not force you to cook them only one way. Mash them into hummus. Mix them with olive oil and lemon into a salad. Add them to soup. Lightly roast them into a snack. Or mix them with canned tomatoes and vegetables for a simple but decent dinner. For people over 50, this is a very worthwhile food to have. Soft, easy to eat, filling for a long time, no need to thaw, no complicated cooking required, and it helps reduce dependence on processed meats. Chickpeas are not a side dish. They are a plant-based protein foundation that can save the whole meal when you have no plan in mind. 5. Canned beets. Beets are something many people buy because they heard they are good, but do not really know where they are good. They see the deep red color, hear other people say they are good for the blood, good for the heart, good for blood pressure. Then put a few cans in the pantry as a vague, healthy option. But beets are not worth buying because of rumors. They are worth buying because that red color is telling you a lot. The red-purple color of beets comes from betalains, a group of plant compounds studied for their antioxidant capacity and support for healthy inflammatory responses in the body. But the more notable hit lies in natural nitrate. Once inside the body, nitrate can participate in the process of creating nitric oxide, a compound that helps blood vessels relax and supports better blood flow. For people over 50, this is a point that should not be overlooked, because blood pressure, circulation, and heart health are no longer distant matters. They are things that appear in every routine checkup, every pill, every number the doctor mentions. 1 cup of beets can provide about 3 to 4 grams of fiber, along with potassium and folate. Potassium supports electrolyte balance and normal blood pressure. Folate is related to cell function and heart health. Canned beets also have a very practical advantage. Already cooked, no peeling, no boiling, and no turning your cutting board and hands into the scene of a kitchen crime. Add them to salad, eat them with eggs, mix them with grains, serve them cold beside the main meal. All of it is fast. Beets are not just a red vegetable. They are a small can that speaks directly to one of the biggest concerns of life after 50: circulation and the heart. 4. Canned artichoke hearts. Fresh artichokes are the kind of food many people like in theory, but give up on in real life. They look beautiful, sound healthy, but to eat the best part, you have to cut, trim, steam, peel away each layer, and only then reach the artichoke heart. For busy people, people living alone, or older adults who do not want to stand in the kitchen for long, that is too many steps for one vegetable. Canned artichoke hearts solve exactly that pain point. They keep the most worthwhile part and skip almost all of the most troublesome part. This is not just convenience. This is a way to turn an ingredient often seen as hard to use into something that can appear regularly in everyday meals. And its value is not small. One serving of artichoke hearts can provide about 4 to 6 grams of fiber, depending on the amount used. For people over 50, fiber is not just about digestion. It is related to fullness, gut health, cholesterol, and the ability to keep meals more balanced. Artichokes also contain potassium, magnesium, and many natural antioxidant compounds. But the thing that makes them different is the feeling of upgrading a meal. Add a few pieces to salad, pasta, eggs, soup, homemade pizza, or eat them with canned fish, and the meal immediately looks more intentional, more flavorful, and less like just getting by. This is a food that makes a cheap meal look more valuable without requiring cooking skills. Canned artichoke hearts do not require you to be a chef. They only require you to open the can. And sometimes, that is exactly the difference between a careless meal and a meal truly worth sitting down to enjoy. 3. Pure canned pumpkin. Canned pumpkin is misunderstood because it is often associated with sweet pies, sugar, cinnamon, and fall. But 100% pure pumpkin is not a dessert. It is a soft, easy to eat, and very useful source of fiber. You should choose pure pumpkin, not pumpkin pie filling, already mixed with sugar and spices. 1 cup of pure pumpkin can contain about 7 grams of fiber and plenty of beta-carotene, the precursor to vitamin A. Fiber supports digestion and fullness. Vitamin A is related to vision, immunity, and skin health. Stir it into soup, mix it with oats, add it to stew, sauce, or an easy-to-swallow breakfast, and it helps the food become thicker, gentler, and more colorful. It does not need fall to have value. It only needs to be seen correctly. 2. Canned salmon. Many people buy tuna out of habit, but overlook a can of salmon that can give them protein, good fats, and calcium in one opening. This is a very big difference, especially for people over 50, when a meal does not only need to be filling, but also needs to support muscles, the heart, bones, and the brain. 1 can of salmon can provide about 20 grams of protein or more, depending on the serving. Protein helps maintain muscle mass, supports tissue repair, and keeps endurance in daily activities. But the part that makes salmon rise above many other canned fish is omega-3. This is a group of fats known for being related to heart health, brain health, and a healthy inflammatory response in the body. Many people push the soft bones off the plate. But in canned salmon, the bones have been softened by heat processing, can be eaten, and are a very valuable natural source of calcium. For people worried about weak bones, osteoporosis, or a lack of calcium in meals, throwing away the soft bones is no different from throwing away one of the best reasons to buy canned salmon. If the can has oil or natural liquid, do not rush to pour it all out. That liquid can hold flavor, fat, and part of the nutritional value. Mix salmon into salad, rice, soup, a sandwich, or eat it with vegetables, and you have a protein-rich meal in just a few minutes. Tuna is not bad, but canned salmon is more complete. Protein, omega-3, calcium from soft bones, and often less concerning than large fish that accumulate more mercury. Do not throw away the most nutritious part just because of habit. 1. Canned sardines. Canned sardines are something many people judge by smell before they judge by reason. The smell is a little strong, the appearance is not pretty, and the price is cheap, so they are often seen as a budget choice. But for people over 50, this may be one of the most worthwhile cans to buy on the shelf. One can of sardines can provide about 20 to 25 grams of protein, along with EPA and DHA omega-3s, vitamin B12, vitamin D, selenium, and calcium if you eat the soft bones. Simply put, it supports many important things at the same time as you age: the heart, bones, muscles, brain, and daily energy. Another strength is that sardines are small fish with short life cycles, so they usually accumulate much less mercury than many larger fish, such as albacore tuna. Eat them with toast, hot rice, canned tomatoes, vegetables, or just add lemon and pepper, and you have a nutrient-rich meal in just a few minutes. Sardines are underestimated not because they lack value, but because they do not know how to advertise themselves. But judging by price, protein, omega-3, calcium, vitamin D, B12, and low mercury levels, they deserve to stand at the top of this list. But buying right is only half the battle. The other half is knowing which cans are disguised as convenient, familiar, or seemingly healthy, but are quietly pulling more sugar, salt, fat, and health risks into the meal. Now turn the can around, because sometimes the most dangerous thing is not in the name of the food, but in the very small ingredient list on the back. 9. Sweetened condensed milk. Sweetened condensed milk is a trap inside a small can. It looks harmless, familiar, easy to store, long-lasting, and ready to use as soon as you open it. Many people grew up with it in coffee, bread, sweet soups, cakes, or family desserts, so it is very easy to mistake it for a stored food with milk and nutrition. But the truth is much colder. Sweetened condensed milk is not a healthy can of milk. It is concentrated sugar and calories covered by a familiar feeling. The number to remember is that just 2 tablespoons of sweetened condensed milk can contain about 20 grams of sugar. That is almost equal to 5 teaspoons of sugar in only a very small amount. And the problem is that no one uses it as if they are eating sugar. People add it to coffee, drizzle it over bread, mix it into sweet dishes, then think just a little. But many just a littles added together are exactly how sugar enters the body without creating a warning feeling. For people over 50, this is a very important point to notice. Blood sugar, weight, blood fat, and heart health are not affected by one single day. They are affected by small habits repeated over many years. Sweetened condensed milk is dangerous not because you use it once, but because it is too easy to become something always available in the pantry. If you need long storage food, choose powdered milk, shelf-stable unsweetened milk, or lower sugar options. Condensed milk is not forbidden, but do not fool yourself into thinking this is a healthy stored food. It is a sweet food. And sweet food should not be treated as a nutritional foundation. 8. Canned potatoes. Canned potatoes sell you a very appealing promise. No peeling, no boiling, no waiting. Just open the can and the potatoes are ready. It sounds very reasonable, especially for busy people or older adults who do not want to stand in the kitchen for long. But this is the kind of convenience that can make you pay for something that sounds better than it really is. Potatoes are good because of their mealiness, firmness, and warm feeling of fullness. After being canned, soaked in liquid, and sitting on the shelf for a long time, many types lose almost all of that. The texture is often soft, bland, sometimes crumbly, and even has a slight metallic taste. You think you are buying potatoes to save time, but in the end, you receive a product that is much harder to make taste good than fresh potatoes. Many canned potatoes can contain from 300 to 500 milligrams of sodium per serving. By itself, that may not sound too terrible, but a meal very rarely has only one item. If it goes with canned soup, canned meat, salty sauce, or processed food, the total sodium can rise very quickly. For people watching their blood pressure, this is not a small detail. There is another problem: value. Potatoes are already cheap, easy to buy, and if kept in a dry, cool, dark place, can last for weeks. Dried potatoes are also more flexible if you want long-term storage. So with canned potatoes, you are often paying for water, the can, shipping weight, and fake convenience more than for real quality. If the can is swollen, leaking, or badly dented, do not feel sorry for it. Canned potatoes sound convenient, but in most cases, they are not a priority item in a smart pantry. 7. Canned shrimp. Canned shrimp sounds like a very smart choice. Seafood, protein, low fat, ready to eat once you open the lid. But this is the kind of product that sells you an image much better than the real experience inside the can. Shrimp tastes good because of its firmness, sweetness, and slightly crisp texture. After the canning process and soaking in liquid for a long time, many types become soft, crumbly, fishier, and lose the fresh seafood feeling that buyers expect. Did you know that 100 grams of shrimp can contain about 189 milligrams of cholesterol? That does not mean shrimp is a bad food, but for people over 50 who are watching heart health, blood fat, or diet, this is a detail that should not be ignored. The bigger problem is comparative value. Canned sardines or canned salmon often have omega-3, vitamin D, B12, minerals, and calcium from soft bones. Canned shrimp mainly sells you protein and convenience. In addition, shrimp is a food that can easily cause allergies, while quality between brands can be very inconsistent. If you need long-lasting seafood protein, sardines, salmon, or skipjack tuna are often more worth buying. 6. Fruit in syrup. Fruit in syrup is one of the most subtle traps on the canned food shelf because it starts with two words that make buyers automatically lower their guard. Fruit. When they hear fruit, many people immediately think of vitamins, fiber, and a healthy choice. But that can does not only contain fruit. It contains fruit sitting in sugar syrup. Many types of fruit in heavy syrup can contain more than 20 to 30 grams of sugar in one serving. That is enough to turn something that seems healthy into something almost like a dessert. The trap lies in the psychology. When you eat cake, you know you are eating sugar. When you drink soda, you know you are drinking sugar. But when eating canned fruit, many people think they are doing something good for the body. For people over 50, blood sugar, weight, and metabolic health are often not affected by one single time eating, but by small sources of sugar repeated over a long time. Fruit in syrup is dangerous because it can become a fake healthy food in the pantry. Easy to open, easy to eat, easy to use after dinner, but quietly adding sugar to your day. If you want to buy it, choose fruit packed in water, natural juice, or labeled no added sugar. The word fruit on the label does not automatically make that can healthy. The sweet liquid surrounding it is what decides whether you should buy it or put it back on the shelf. 5. Sweet baked beans. Beans are naturally one of the cheapest and best foods in the pantry. They have fiber, plant-based protein, keep you full longer, and support more stable blood sugar than many white starches. But sweet baked beans are a very clear example of how a good food can be turned into a poor choice just because of the sauce surrounding it. The problem is not the beans. The problem is the sweet, salty, glossy sauce that makes them feel more like a convenience food than a healthy food. Many types of canned baked beans can contain about 10 to 15 grams of sugar in just half a cup, not to mention fairly high sodium. If you eat the whole can, you may be putting much more sugar and salt into your body than the feeling of "I am just eating beans" suggests. For people over 50, this is a very important trap to notice. Sugar affects insulin, weight, and energy after a meal. Sodium affects blood pressure. When these two things come together in a food that is seen as bean-rich, buyers can very easily lower their guard. If you want the real benefits of beans, choose plain beans with no added salt or low sodium. Then season them yourself with garlic, pepper, green chilies, canned tomatoes, or simple spices. Beans are not bad. But good beans drowned in sugar and salt are no longer something to prioritize. This is not healthy beans. This is good beans turned into an industrial sweet, salty food. 4. Canned spaghetti. Canned spaghetti sells you the feeling of a complete meal. There is pasta, there is sauce, sometimes there are meatballs, and all you need to do is open the lid and heat it up. But when you look closely, it often looks more like a can of soft starch, salty sweet sauce, and stabilizers than a real meal. The familiar image is mushy, soft pasta, thick sauce, a mix of sweet and salty taste, and meatballs of unclear quality. The number to remember is that many canned pasta meals can contain more than 600 to 900 milligrams of sodium per serving, not to mention added sugar in the sauce. If one can says 2 servings, but you eat the whole can, that sodium amount can double very quickly. The problem is that this food creates a quick feeling of fullness, but not a lasting one. Soft pasta, refined starch, and sweet sauce can make blood sugar rise faster, and then you get hungry again sooner. For people over 50 who are concerned about weight, blood pressure, or blood sugar, this is not something to use often just because it is convenient. A better replacement is very simple. Dry pasta, low-sodium canned tomatoes, plus beans, sardines, or mixed vegetables. You still have a quick meal, but you can control the sugar, salt, and real quality inside. Canned spaghetti is not dangerous because it is pasta. It is worth avoiding because it makes you think you are buying a meal, when in reality, you are only buying convenience packed in salty sweet sauce. 3. Canned cream soup. Canned cream soup does not just sell soup, it sells the feeling of being cared for. Hot, soft, creamy, easy to swallow, like a bowl of slow-cooked soup in a family kitchen. But when you turn the can around, that feeling often disappears pretty quickly. Many types of cream soup are not vegetables, meat, and real cream cooked carefully. They are often water, salt, oil, modified starch, and thickeners mixed together to create a creamy feeling. The notable number is that one serving can contain from 700 to more than 900 milligrams of sodium. If you eat the whole can, you may take in nearly a day's worth of salt from just one item that seems very light. For people over 50 who are watching blood pressure, heart health, or water retention, this is not a small detail. Good soup should help the body feel lighter, not leave behind a load of salt after the warm feeling in your stomach. If you want a better choice, choose low-sodium soup, simple broth, or make your own soup base from vegetables, beans, and chicken. 2. Processed canned meat. Processed canned meat is controversial because it is too convenient. One can turn rice, bread, or noodles into a meal in just a few minutes. But that very convenience is the problem. Eating it once is not a disaster. Filling the pantry with it and using it as the main protein source is the mistake. Many types of canned meat contain high sodium, nitrites, and saturated fat. The number to remember is that one serving can have from several hundred to more than 1,000 milligrams of sodium, depending on the product. When eaten with noodles, canned soup, bread, or salty sauce, the total salt adds up very quickly. For people over 50, repeated convenient habits can create more pressure on blood pressure, heart health, blood fat, and gut health. If you need long-lasting protein, salmon, sardines, or low-sodium canned chicken are often more balanced. Canned meat is not concerning because it exists on the shelf. It is concerning because it is too easy to become the answer to every meal when you are too lazy to cook. 1. High mercury tuna. Tuna is not bad, but not every type of tuna is the same. This is the twist many people overlook when they see the word tuna on the can. Larger types of tuna, such as albacore or yellowfin, usually live longer, eat more smaller fish, and tend to accumulate more mercury than skipjack. The key number is that albacore tuna can contain about 3 times more mercury than light tuna. If you only eat it once, that is not too scary. But if tuna is something you eat every week for many years, the type of fish you choose starts to matter. For older adults, long-term mercury exposure can be related to the nervous system, memory, concentration, and balance. The irony is that many people choose albacore because they think it is more premium, while skipjack or light tuna is often more reasonable for regular eating. Tuna is not the villain. Choosing the wrong type of tuna is the problem. Do not let the front of the can decide your health. Some ordinary foods like sardines, beans, tomatoes, or pure pumpkin can bring much more value than many products that sound very healthy. On the other hand, condensed milk, fruit and syrup, cream soup, or high mercury tuna can quietly create problems if used too often. One wrong can does not ruin your health in one day, but one wrong habit, repeated long enough, can. A smart kitchen does not start with buying more. It starts with stopping buying the wrong things. What kind of canned food do you always keep at home? Share it in the comments.